Womp womp wow 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 wow. Womp womp wow 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 wow. Womp 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 womp. All right, I think I got it all happening here. Good lord. All right, let me see here. That topic. We editing. And then I guess I'll throw the Twitch on there. Maybe I should be promoting the kick, but I don't like promoting anything. I'm sick. PS. Lord. All right, there we go. I don't see any of the usual offenders online, so maybe I'll have some peace and quiet at last. That's boring when it's just me, but also it's not boring when it's just me. Let me see. I guess I just posted it in LRH and not math, and then on the Twitch writing Discord. Because fuck it, you know, what else am I going to do? Let's see. I guess I should put it in my own Discord, actually. Let's see. What's going on in my Discord? So there's a man train. The no noobs allowed Beyblade thing. That's one of my favorite memes of recent history there. What else we got? We got me editing. And then I guess I'll just do the TWN. I feel bad because I never click on anybody else's stream. And I do not care at all if they do it, but yeah, writers don't like other writers. And that's how it's always going to be at. All right, let me see. Let me get to the... Jira says, I haven't slept yet, and I'm still high. What's up? All right, well, it's the perfect time, because this chapter is about not sleeping and getting high. And I think there is fucking in this one, Jira. So, covers all your interests. There's even e-girls up in... There's not really e-girls in the chapter. I guess there's the sorceress equivalent. Sorceress equivalent? Lord. Yeah, I had a stressful day at work yesterday. And this morning I'm like going around strapped because I'm like, oh, I'll find another person who's stealing a carburetor or whatever the fuck they were doing. And of course nothing was going on. It's crazy how like just a little brush with crime makes you so vigilant afterward. You're like, oh, what's happening there? Must have played for Load Plus. I'm glad I don't have Load Plus or whatever there. Let's see. All right. Well, I think we're ready to begin. Was I pretending to be a cop, like in my head? No. But if the same guy was out trying to steal another carburetor or fucking catalytic converter, and he spotted me because we know what each other, like I know the vehicle he's in now, and he knows what I look like and so forth, there's a chance that I would have gotten shot at, or he would have come out like, what the fuck, pussy? And then I would have had to engage in mortal combat for my life. And I just want to walk around in the morning, wake up, drink coffee, and do graffiti, right? So it's not like I'm not out committing crimes too, but I'm not down with stealing people's fucking catalytic converters. I think that's a bitch move, right? I'm not down with like stealing bicycles, catalytic, anything somebody needs to get to work. Like fuck those people. So yeah, if I saw him again, what was my frame of mind? I think I was just gonna run up and bust out his windows, and then see what he did about it. And if he tried to run me over with his car, I'd just step behind a tree and be like, "What now? Are you gonna run over the tree?" And then he can basically just hope he doesn't have a gun. Because then I gotta get... It's like a whole fucking thing. Creepy, and obviously scope him out with binoculars. That's one option, I guess. I really do want to get like a vigilante crime squad together, but I'm the only one I know in this neighborhood stupid enough to do it. And so as I'm like walking around, I'm like thinking about like, yeah, what if you had fucking, some kind of detection going on. So when like a strange car pulls up, it does a plate reader, and if it's not one from the neighborhood, it like pings, like all the stupid shit that runs through your mind. And then ultimately you settle down and just be like, it's a hunk of metal in somebody else's car. And I'm probably never going to see that person again because I spooked him out of the neighborhood by, by like, I didn't just like fuck off. He's like, these new whites, they don't scare. Because I've been here forever. It's my neighborhood. I don't want to see cars getting robbed. Get a canvas trench coat. What makes you think I don't already have a plethora of trench coats? I don't like the word plethora. I don't know if I can use it in anything other than just there immediately. Okay, so what happened? So if you're tuning in for the first time, why? But we're editing a giant fantasy novel that is meant for syndication or serialization, and we're going to try it on the site royalroad.com. And like also when I post it up, I'm gonna do some kind of like generative AI type bullshit where and record like maybe an audiobook or something and of each chapter and post it up with like some stupid AI visuals or something and link to the editing of the stream so they can see like, hey, this is what happened on that chapter. Just all the standard dumb shit that I do trying to promote books. This, like, honestly, it's not that interesting. We did that for Gravid. I was very you can actually still visit the blog of the entirety of Gravid, where every day when we did the editing stream, I would post up the video and I would post like a comparison of the rough draft and the edit that we did. And so people could see, like, this is how much we changed. This is how rough a rough draft is. Like, these are the decisions that we made and blah, 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 blah. And today, like, looking back at the book, I'm like, fuck, I ought to rewrite this again. No, I'm not going to do it. It's 800 pages. but maybe I'll hire a better proofreader this time around for that book. Well, anyhow, so the long story short is that, and there's nothing short about this story. It's 1,000 pages long, and it's going to get longer. We're going to try to do the first book of RAPAXORIS, which comprises either 22 or 23 chapters, depending on how we decide to break it up. And we're going to post each of these chapters one by one, like maybe one or two a week on a regular schedule, and see if we can get the tweens on Royal Road to bite on my particular style of old school science fiction. Maybe we can, maybe we cannot. All right, hold on, there we go. I just had to remove this tracking dongle from the machine. And, it's Big Stratum there. All right. I'm trying to think if there's anything relevant to your interests in this story, Stratum. So the story thus far is that we have met two of the characters. We met Fish, who is a mysterious drifter who is apparently very good with a sword and not much good at anything else. Rape a sore ass. Yes, that was the intent with the creation of the word. How clever of you to deduce it. Okay, so what was I fucking talking about there? We begin the story with Fish and another character, Revel V. Ramos, who we have learned is the Duke's son, but has fallen into disgrace after some sort of a duel. And that is all that you know at this point in the story, that they were out paddling and that a storm is coming. So 6 pages to establish those facts. All right, and now we're going to introduce another character, El Shala, the daughter of Arath the Unraveler, who is an archmage of sorts. And the story is just going to introduce these two characters. We're going to edit the thing. The way that I'm doing editing is I will take your suggestions in the chat, and at the end of the whole thing, I'll give people points based on how I feel that their contribution was. If you have the most points at the end, I will send you a hat, and everybody who contributes meaningfully will get thanked in the acknowledgments page of this book. Although I will tell you that this book will probably be like at least a year out before we can even think about publishing it here, because the rewrite is only done for books 1, really. And there are either 6 or 7 books of this guy, and each one is taking me like a year to rewrite. So it's long, and the writing is not good, but I feel like salvaging it for some reason. I can't not work on these. Okay, so our first chapter started with "You're dead, idiot," and then the second starts with "I'll kill him." Yeah, I'm really trying to like hook readers with explosive statements. All right, let's begin. So this is RAPAXORIS, chapter 1.2. And this chapter is from the POV of El Shalah. Actually, let's take a look at our master chart right here. Let's see. So chapter 1.2 is only 3.5 pages. And no, we did not merge. No, I think I wrote this longer. So this introduces Revel and El Shalah and displays the components of their Oh, I hope it's not 1,000 days to edit this whole thing. But I put so much time into it already. I don't know. It's pretty good. All right, let's take a look. Oh, and then we can see. So yesterday we got Milkness and Kelly. Hold on. Let me just make these big enough to where people can see what's happening. All right, so Milkness and Kelly contributed yesterday, but Milkness is gone today. She's shagging out somewhere else. So cool. All right, let's begin. And my editing procedure, as always, is I read each line aloud, and I'm looking for awkward language, stuff that just doesn't sound true to the ear, any kind of nonsense that we can dispense with. It's all good to get going. All right, let's begin. I'll kill him. El Shalah, really? I don't think he would talk like that. I'll kill him. No, that's not right either. I'll kill him. I'll kill him. And I think he would put the emphasis on him. I'll kill him. El Shalah blinked at Revel's outburst. She swept her eyes around the bedchamber to remind him they were alone. And there's no comma there. She swept her eyes around the bedchamber to remind him. Oh, that works better. Oh no! Oh no! Look who showed up. All right, what's up, numbers? El Shalah blinked at the outburst. She swept her eyes around the bedchamber to remind Revel they were alone, and there was no need to shout. The pair were surrounded by a fortune in glass, a ring of ornate silver. Oh my god! No, and I'm very sick. So if I sound congested or digested or invested or divested or any of the estids, double vested, any of that, I'm very sick. So we're still going to have a show tonight, though. I need to do this show. The pair were surrounded by a fortune in glass. A ring of ornate silver mirrors caught the... yeah, let's... A ring of ornate silver... yeah. So one of the things that I'm seeing immediately is that we're overburdened with adjectives. Samuel Delaney, known supporter of NAMBLA, fucking... I wish I didn't know that. Samuel Delaney says that each noun can support one adjective, more or less, and that two becomes overburdened. So... let's try with just, and ultimately, like I think a lot of our edit is going to be reducing the amount of trying that I'm doing in the thing, so that things like flow a little bit better. Yeah, I mean this seems to be my procedure, just like maximum effort, like, oh, I'm trying so hard to lift, and then you're just like, you don't actually need to do all that bullshit, right? It would be cool if I could just get it right the first time, but I cannot, and thus the editing. Revel and El Shalah were surrounded by a fortune in glass. A ring of silver mirrors caught the low light of the fireplace and reflected the pair from every angle. Hot. Above, moonlight oh, no. Yeah, look at how bullshit this prose is right here. And this is after like a bunch of rewrites. This is me trying to improve the original prose. So you can get an idea. I need to go back to like one of the very first edits of this and just like A and B, because it was like a decade ago. I'll just do like a few chapters at random so you can see how much improvement and how much degeneration there is too. Because it's like you don't just improve as you get older. Some of your vim and vigor, your like childlike enthusiasm, the energy that you have as a young person, some of that decays, right? And it's not there anymore. You know, can't fuck like I used to. But that's all there is to it. But also, a lot of that youthful energy is just like you're the only one who's feeling it. So let's see. No, it's too soon to take that. Revel and El Shala were surrounded by a fortunate glass. A ring of silver mirrors caught the low light of the fireplace and reflected the pair from every angle. Above, storm clouds swept across the skylight. Above, storm clouds swept across an extravagant dome of beveled crystal panes. Okay, so we're setting up this paragraph with how pricey all the glass is inside. Revel and El Shala were surrounded by a fortune in glass. A ring of silver mirrors caught the low light of the fireplace and reflected the pair. Ooh, I don't like how long this sentence is here. A ring of silver mirrors caught the low light of the fireplace. That's a little better. A ring of silver mirrors caught the flicker of the fireplace and reflected the pair from every angle. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't like that at all. A ring of silver mirrors reflected the pair from every angle. Above, storm clouds swept across an extravagant dome of crystal panes. To the right of the hearth, soft cerulean light swirled within a sorcerer's orb. The drapes were thrown. Through stained glass doors, a wrought iron balcony faced north. Below, all of Laz sprawled downhill towards the docks of Tinkerton. Okay, cool. So we have taken our very overburdened paragraph right there. And now it's still just straight exposition, right? And readers do not, I think there may be like one line too many in here. Let's see if we can pull one out. I do want the ring of silver mirrors. I want the storm clouds. We have to have the sorcerer's orb. Yeah, let's remove extravagant. Let's see. I do like extravagant is doing like a lot there. Yeah, extravagant is not quite. We just want to say like as a big glass dome. And within the context of this world, somebody having this much glass, they're rich as shit. Like nobody can afford this kind of stuff. Mhm. Okay, so here we'll call it, say, beneath, right? Because we want to also like lend some contrast. Below has beneath just implies more like the high status of these people here. Um, let's see, extravagant, expensive. I can't get rid of extravagant in that unless we have a better word to put there. It's doing work in the thing. It's supposed to imply that it's both luxurious and ostentatious. Like it's extravagant is kind of the word that we want. So yeah, like I can't take it out because it's doing work. I need a suggestion to replace it if you want to remove it. Okay. All right, let's try again. Through stained glass doors, a wrought iron balcony faced north. A wrought iron balcony faced north. Beneath the tower of the Unraveler, all of Laz sprawled downhill towards the docks of Tinkerton. There we go. All the over and under references and thus spoke Zara. I still haven't, I don't think I've read that. I think I took a crack at it. I'm not a Nietzsche kind of guy. Harassed Garrett was the highest point in the entire city. Okay, so we have two ways of saying, ooh, extravagant, opulent. Okay, so we lose a syllable there. Extravagant, extravagant versus opulent there. Let's read it both ways. Above, storm clouds swept across an opulent dome of crystal panes. Above, storm clouds swept across an extravagant dome of crystal panes. Okay, so that extra syllable, a guy who knows the names of actual dwarves. I know dwarves IRL that I've been in relationships with, but I think I'm trying to think of. I could probably name 3 mythical dwarves. Maybe as many as 5. So I think the average person on the street. Oh, well, I mean, there's like the 7 dwarves. All right, let's think about how many fucking dwarves can you name off the top of your head. Like everybody can name 7 dwarves, and like either Gimli or Boromir, those 2 are gonna come in there. And then if you played Nerdhammer, there's a bunch of dwarves that are just gonna spring to mind. Similarly, if you played Dungeons and Dragons, you're gonna get like about 4 or 5 more. So yeah, I think if pressed to by Satan, I could name 20 dwarves. So yeah, I guess, point taken. I know a lot of dwarves. Dwarves. All right, here we go. I think we're gonna stick with extravagant. Extravagant just because opulent is a little overused. But oh no, let me see. The guy in the Jack in the Box register was talking about Nerdhammer. Oh God. Was he like explaining the, Warhammer? The only thing interesting about Warhammer is like 1, the Horus Heresy, 2, Felix and Gorgtusk or whatever, those were good, and then 3, the fucking Chaos Gods. Everything else is just dog shit. He was complaining about updates. That's what you get for allowing somebody else to rule your fantasy universe. Beneath the tower of the Unraveler, all of Laz sprawled downhill towards the docks of Tinkerton. All right, so here, we want to try this a couple ways. Aras Garrett was the highest point in the entire city, and El Shalah. Aras Garrett was the zenith of Laz. Aras Garrett was the zenith of Laz. El Shalah intended to climb even higher. Her father had absolutely forbidden her to enter his bedroom, which all but guaranteed she would. El Shalah had spent half the afternoon in ablution, farting her face and plaiting her golden hair. Her dress was an emerald marvel of sheer silk clasped with delicate copper links. Her features and frame were skinny and severe, but she worked hard with what she had. As usual, Revel v. Ramus. Across a dome of extravagant crystal panes. All right, hold on. What do we got here? Let's... Above, storm clouds swept across a dome of extravagant crystal panes. No. It's intentional. Farting her face and plating her grill. Yeah. So one thing that we're doing kind of intentionally right here is like taking essentially a horse girl and making her one of our protagonists. Like the word farting means Farding, means applying makeup. And like there are three relatively medieval terms here. Ablution, which I don't know if I can get away with these exactly. So I don't know if I can get away with this vocabulary here. So in this paragraph, we have zenith, we have ablution. How many people, just show of hands, understand like what ablution would mean? And then farting, and then plating. So there's like a bunch of, for ESL people, this is where they would tap out of the story. They're just like, you know what? I don't know these words, and I don't want to know these words. Oh yeah, I remember the Crystal Palace. Yeah. I like that every meth lab is now called that. Oh. All right, sheer. Her dress was an emerald marvel of sheer silk clasped with copper links. So it's difficult. Oh, thank you. Yeah, do you perform it each time you log into your PayPal account to be fin-dommed? As usual, Revel v. Ramos was oblivious. Okay, so here we get into this character who is meant to be quite oafish throughout the story. Even like later in the story, he is meant to be a dumb fuck. I swear on my name, Revel railed on. He raised his fist at the skylight as if it too had wronged him. He raised his fist at the crystal skylight as if it too had wronged him. He raised his fist at the skylight as if... He raised his fist at the crystal dome as if it too had wronged him. There we go. I'll crush you like the bug you are. Oh, Lord. El Shalah sighed, and the wind groaned around it. I swear on my name, Revel railed on. He raised his fist at the crystal dome as if it too had wronged him. El Shalah sighed. The wind groaned around the tower in agreement. She hadn't brought him here for this. Didn't you forsake your name? She noted his wince with satisfaction. There are not enough good words for wince. Yeah. A grimace is better. Didn't you forsake your name? She noted Revel's grimace with satisfaction. Forget my name. I swear on my honor. Okay, so you need to have a period at the end of it. It looks so stupid, right? Doesn't this look fucking wrong to you? But it's like that's how it's supposed to be. I swear on my honor. Okay, and then doesn't honor. This is so the mechanics of M dashes and quotations and stuff like that when you're doing interjections are not they're not well handled in modern English. So It really is one of those things where if I sold more books, I would just be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to Cormac it, and we're going to do it my way. But for now, I'm nobody, and understanding is paramount. Doesn't honor command you to obey your lordly father? She interrupted again. All right. Elle interrupted. She smiled at his consternation. She smirked at his consternation. Flummoxing the oaf was her second favorite thing to do with him. Yeah. I think we have to cut out smirked at his consternation. All right. Doesn't honor command you to obey your lordly father? Elle interrupted. I think we have to take out lordly. No. Doesn't honor command you to obey your father? Elle interrupted. Okay, so let's take this flummoxing the oath thing. I don't want to lose flummoxing. Didn't you forsake your name? Elle noted Remus grin. El Shala noted Revel's grimace with satisfaction. Flummoxing the oath was her second favorite thing to do with him. Forget my name. I swear on my honor. Doesn't honor command you to obey your father? Elle interrupted. You know what I mean, Elle. Upon whom shall I swear? The Most High? Mm-hmm. This is Flummoxing the Oath and Gleaming the Cute is good. I could just name the whole fucking book Flummoxing the Oath. That'd be a great title for a romance. Flummoxing the Lummox. There has to be a connection between lummox and flummox. All right, so we have to cut out the Most High here, which is blasphemous in the context of this world, but it doesn't. Upon whom shall I swear? Why swear at it all? Just do it. Be a man. Revel's eyes dropped to the floor. She'd shut him up at last. In silence, she could hear wind whip around the tower. We already had wind whipping around the tower. Revel's his eyes? Oh, yeah. You guys are supposed to be catching this bullshit before I do, by the way. Fuck. Revel's eyes dropped to the floor. She'd shut him up at last. In silence, Elle could hear thunder rumble across Morricone Bay. The fireplace crackled and blue shadows flickered across. See what you were saying about movement in the thing and like fireplaces flickering and so forth? Already got that shit. Way ahead of you. The fireplace crackled and blue shadows flickered across Revel's face. El Shala drank in his strong jawline and high cheekbones. If only he never talked. She took a step closer. Are you sure we should be in here? Revel asked. El Shala took Revel's hand and pressed it to the... let's see. El Shala took Revel's hand and pressed it against her cheek. You smell of the sea, she murmured. She turned her face to kiss along his knuckles. When she reached his index finger, she slipped... whoa, holy fuck. Oh, this got gay quick. Holy fuck. She turned her face to kiss along his knuckles. When she reached his index finger, she slipped it into her mouth. Revel gasped. He closed his eyes and swayed slightly on his feet. No, we can't have he was melting. Gay. El Shalah pulled back and... We just need to... Yeah. She bit the ham of his thumb hard. Revel drew a sharp breath but did not cry out. What the fuck? Why the fuck can't he be melting? It's too much, too soon. You know. I can melt later on. Who is Fufanu? By the way, I don't know this character. Yeah, it's like like a cake can't have too much frosting, or you'll just choke on it. But yeah, this is really unexpected. The like, do not take that clip and turn it into a GIF and spam it everywhere. Anyhow, Revel gasped. He closed his eyes and swayed slightly on his feet. She bit the hem of his thumb hard. Revel drew a sharp breath and didn't cry out. She'd trained him well. This was her favorite thing to do with the oaf. She ran her hands across his broad back and admired what weeks of rowing had done to him. Endless stroking in the sun had burned off every ounce of fat. Outside, the storm began to howl. "Take off your shirt," she instructed. He obeyed without hesitation. Oh, now we need Revel there. Revel obeyed without hesitation. She ran her fingers down his chest, brushed over his stomach, and stopped to watch him quiver. But when she dipped lower... No, we don't need a butt there. When she dipped lower, Revel's eyes bulged and he hissed in pain. He pulled her hand away. "What?" El Shalah blurted. He wasn't supposed to do that. Wait, what the fuck does add butts mean? No idea. Let's see. Alarmed at her look, Revel released her hand. We don't need add butts. Oh, okay. Yeah, that doesn't help me. I'm like I'm like thinking that you're offering useful feedback, and really it's just you're horny. Like, we'll get there, I swear. What? El Shalah blurted. He wasn't supposed to do that. Revel let her hand go. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's just let me see. I'm just like, where did I leave out like a butt? Exactly. Fish kicked me in the balls when I wasn't looking. I'm bruised. Oh, babe. Oh, I didn't know. You should have told me. I like that even as her voice is softening, she's still like, you should have told me, right? This is her character there. Oh, I didn't know. You should have told me. El Shalah's voice softened. The game was forgotten. All right, so I don't want to lose the diminutive here, right? Because this is part of like the softening of the character, but at the same time, I still want her to be a cunt, you know? Oh, I didn't know. You should have told me, babe. El Shalah's voice softened. The game was forgotten. I should have said something. Revel apologized. Well, I'll say something. Tomorrow morning. Well, I'll say something. Tomorrow morning I'm going to the dock to tell that lakey old fool to never do that again. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I just love that our plot point is a guy getting kicked in the balls, like for real, and like none of the doink noise or like whatever. I want to show the realistic aftermath of getting kicked in the nuts. Well, I'll say something. Tomorrow morning I'm going to the dock. I'll tell that crusty old fool to never kick you there again. It's training, El. Getting hurt is part of it. I don't care what he hurts of yours. But this, she said, barely touching his... Oh, no, no, no. We can't do battered this. What the fuck? Okay, cool. But this, she said, barely touching him, belongs to me. Revel winced all over again. Okay, cool. Huge progress in this chapter right here. So this is much, much, much better. And really, we're just taking out the this whole editing thing is just me cutting off the fat and trying to get down to the gristle. I know, right? We used battered bits a few chapters before, and the thing is that like when I'm writing this, the days are spread like apart, right? It might be 3 or 4 days. I might be working on one chapter for like 4 or 5 days, and then I just fucking forget what I said 2 or 3 chapters before, and it's in this like marathon-y editing session that we can get a feel for what's really happening. And then when a real editor is going through this, they're going through it like at a real clip. Like they're going to sit down for like 4 or 5 hours and plow through this horse shit. So they'll get a idea. All right. So we this is far less sensual than that lovemaking scene between Maybe and Rosalie. Yeah, because like that scene was the climax of half a book of longing from Maybe. Like that he is like, you've led up to it, you've foreshadowed it, you've done all this bullshit. So the reader is willing to accept the rape that goes on there. In this case, you just met this character like 2 seconds ago, and your understanding of Revel is that he is a loser, right? And then you go to this tower and you see not only is he a loser at fighting, but he's also just like a complete sub to his horse-faced wizardling girlfriend, who, by the way, is like 7 or 8 years younger than him. And she's just bossing him around like he's nothing. This is a critical part of his character throughout, that he is a tool for people of stronger will, right? I will tell you initially, this scene was a lot of like very sensual fucking and so forth. And I think we'll get into a little bit more later. But now it's time to introduce a new character, right? So we don't get too deep into the hardcore pornography. We just titillate the reader, try to get them to read more, right? And then we hop to the next chapter. So that's part of what we're trying to do with the serialization is pique people's interest but not consummate it. Like there's nothing in that chapter that somebody who's older than like 15 or 16 can really jack off to, but there's the hint, hey, if you read a little bit more, maybe I will give you something that you can jack off to. Like the joke's on them because I'm a complete sadist, so I'm just going to deny the entire time and never pay off. But no, it's not true. I think it happens. I think it happens halfway through the book. All right. So chapter 1.3, we're going to add in Rigel, who is a new character. Add the smell of whatever drug. I already did that. Let's see. So we want to introduce Rigel here. We want the inciting incident of the entire story to take place here. I forget what they're supposed to be called. I think inciting incident might be. Hold on. Let's find the theatrical term for it. Let's learn something. Yeah, what is the inciting incident? Call to adventure. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Do we not have, like, a word? Urgency. 3 types of inciting incidents. The casual inciting incident. Result of a choice made by the protagonist or somebody with the power to make a decision on their behalf. The coincidental one and the ambiguous one. These all sound stupid to me. How to get your story into the motion. All right, I don't... Opening event, incisive moment. I guess this is what you call it. I thought that there would be like a stagecraft term for like the locus or like the nexus of all the action. But this is it. This is where the story should kick up. All right, so what do we want to do here? I said that this was okay. Whether it's okay or not, we'll find out soon. So, if they screw, I'll burst in and steal it. I'll be at the door. If they screw, I'll burst in and dash past them. I'll be out the door with the orb before he can even pull his cock out of her. Oof. All right, let's... If they screw, I'll burst in and dash past them. All right. If they screw, I'll burst in, dash past them, and snatch it. I'll be out the door with the orb before he can even pull his cock out of her. Okay, I'm not going to dispense with pull his cock out of her. It's important. Let's try both ways. If they screw, I'll burst in, dash past them, and snatch it. I'll be out the door with the orb before he can even pull his cock out of her. That's a lot for an internal monologue, right? That's longer. I think most internal monologues are much more punchy. No. So Rigel is smarter than like his in terms of like relative intelligence level. Rigel and El Shala are in the same place, but Rigel is much less learned, right? He's going to have like way less book smarts and so forth. But the two of them are equivalent in terms of like how smart their characters should be. It does need to be shorter, right? So let's try. If they screw, I'll burst in and let's try it. If they screw, I'll dash past them and snatch it. I'll be out the door with the orb before he can even pull his cock out of her. All right. I don't want. It needs to. Fuck you. Will this not go away? I don't want to get notifications of DND. And why is that at 6? If they screw, I'll burst in, dash past, and snatch it. I'll be out the door with the orb before he can even pull his cock out of her. All right, that's fine. And we need with the orb there. One, because like I'll be out the door with the orb before he can even pull his cock. Oh, actually, hold on. Let's see if we can get it working in a quatrain. I'll be out the door with the orb. That's good. Before. I'll be out the door with the orb before he can pull his cock out of her. All right, that's better. If they screw, I'll burst in, dash past, and snatch it. I'll be out the door with the orb before he can pull his cock out of her. All right, cool. That's enough. You know, like we don't have to fixate more than that. Were I an editor, I'd be like, you can't do that. But I'm not an editor. Harass daughter, and no. Alas, harassed daughter and her noble paramour didn't screw. They sat on the edge of the bed Instead, they sat on the edge of the bed and spoke in tones too low to hear. Okay. The other thing is that we... oh, no. You want to pull his cock out of her. Let's try it with the extra beat. Oh, I do like that better. Alas, a rash daughter and her noble paramour did not screw. Instead, they sat on the edge of the bed and spoke in tones too low for Rigel to overhear. Rigel, let's just go ahead and I like the cock thing. It's startling, but a good fit. I hear that all the time. Jesus Christ. Alas, a rash daughter and her noble paramour did not screw. I like when you have did not, you almost can read the head shake at the end of the sentence. Instead, they sat on the edge of the bed and spoke in tones too low for Rigel the thief to overhear. Okay. We can't toss his name in there yet. His name is going to be at the top of the chapter, but he's not gonna name himself here. Okay, cool. That's a good suggestion, honestly. There's these little things that I wouldn't think of that are what make doing this valuable, even though it's so much more difficult to edit this way, but the benefit is gigantic. Gigantic. All right, anyhow. El Shalah brought out a calabash pipe, packed the bowl, and held it out to the Duke's son. Okay, cool. For the lurking thief. And so here we can say Rigel, right? It's crazy. Like, we couldn't say it. Like, we can call him a thief, and then we can introduce his name here, and it works. Okay. Alas, a rash daughter and her noble paramour did not screw. Instead, they sat on the edge of the bed and spoke in tones too low for the thief to overhear. Rigel peered through the keyhole and strained to see what they were up to. El Shalah... let's see. All right. Let's pronounce. Okay. Calabash.
Calabash.
Okay, so let's look at a. Okay. Handcrafted. Let's look at an image of a calabash pipe. Okay, yeah, so this is kind of what we want. It's like a meerschaum or calabash pipe. Shout out to shit poster. But yeah, she's got like one of these motherfuckers. And then they're out here getting high. Okay. All right. El Shalah packed the bowl of a calabash pipe and held it out to the Duke's son. All right. All right, so I think his hand trembling. Uh, Beetlejuice of Crab Flat Road. No, God. I think we just have to change the name of the character Rigel, but I really, because it's too close to Rebel, right? Both of them starting with R and being 5 characters. It does not work throughout this story. So I'm gonna let readers decide what we name this kid, and not something like stupid and referential. So like open to suggestions for what we name him. But no, you produce Bela Gattuso. All right, hold on. How the fuck do you spell this? Bela. Yeah. Betelgeuse. Oh, fuck this. Yeah, just you do it, Google. It's pronounced beat all Jews. Is my all. Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah. The fuck? How is that a joke? It's not fucking funny. All right. Let me see there. El Shalah packed the bowl of a calabash pipe and handed it. There we go. Yeah. Wait. I don't. I don't understand, like the where the joke comes in there. Yeah, I can't. I mean, it's too late now, but like, where's the exaggeration? All right, so I guess it's just a no. I'm honestly trying to figure out what we were going for here, and it looks like the implied exaggeration is that his father is a star, and it's a star that's big, right? So because, but uh, yes, I'm aware that they're both stars. I think the joke was too dorky. I just don't see where it's supposed to be. I don't see the implicit contradiction or exaggeration. But I'm also like trying to figure out this fucking chapter. So not every punch is gonna land. Let's keep going. El Shalah packed the bowl of a calabash pipe. Okay, cool. Yeah, man. Well, well, the problem is that when so this is a key a key distinction, which should explain like a little of what's going on. When you're in an editing stream, or when you're editing, you are in a mode that's like hypercritical, right? You're looking at the bones of everything that comes across. So you really become kind of a cunt when you're doing this. That's why I don't date editors any longer. I just really don't, because there's so much about me that you can reasonably critique. And eventually, like every smart editor comes to the idea is, you know what, maybe we should just cut this chapter out of my life. So, but you can just see like the difficulty in like leaping from friendly, like, oh, we're joking around and whatever, we'll let something fly even if it doesn't work, to the like, I'm intensely focusing on each word in this thing, and if even one character is out of place, I'm gonna get there. So oh yeah, you have to well, you pay one way or another. But no, actually, like I got some really great like editors that I have dated have really put their heart and soul into like helping me out, and so I'm eternally grateful. Really like wonderful women in my life, at a time where I could not afford any kind of editing. In the long run, like I should have just saved up my money and paid for editing and whatever. But you know, you learn everything the hard way in your life. So let's see if this is too punchy. El Shalah packed the bowl of a calabash pipe and passed it to the Duke's son. And we're including Duke's son intentionally there because we want to start showcasing just their like sort of hierarchical roles here, because we're going to get into it in a second. Revel was hesitant. She purred something into his ear, and he pressed the pipe to his lips. El purred something into his ear, and he pressed the pipe to his lips. The sorceress extended her little finger and spoke a sigil. Golden flame flared from her fingertip. Let's see. Okay. Da, 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 da. But yeah, anyhow, so we in the genesis of that was like in the past, like I have just been like way too fucking cunty to people in the chat who are doing me a favor by participating in this there, and not to excuse that, but that, just to give you like some insight, like it really is like your train of thought is switching over from like to like, hey, what's going on, guys? And like sometimes, you know, like the switching system doesn't work. So I'm not trying to give you guys a hard time in the chat. This is just like a daunting task. Okay. I think that's okay. Behind the keyhole, the thief tensed. Rigel could feel the weight of the arcane word on the air. Rigel felt the weight of the arcane word on the air. Okay. Context switch takes effort to. Yeah, I mean, you still you can do it. It's just you probably need like a beat. I wonder if I should just like take like a deep breath and then look at the chat and then whatever. I don't know. It's all a work in progress. I would say hopefully we're better at this than we were doing this a year ago. I definitely make more progress, and I'm like better at like cutting off before we go down like a complete rabbit hole. But I don't know. Only an external observer could tell us if we're better or worse. Behind the keyhole, the thief tensed. Rigel. The thief tensed on the other side. On the other side of the chamber door, the thief tensed. Rigel felt the weight of the arcane word and feared he'd been found out. Rigel felt the weight of the arcane word and feared he would be found out at once. Let's see. And feared he would be found out. It was nothing but a cantrip. Let's see. Okay, so I think we, over the course, here, let's take a look. On the other side of the chamber door, I'd like to, I almost want to say beyond the chamber door. I want, I wonder if there's like a more elegant way we can say on the other side of the door. On the other side of the door, the thief tensed. Rigel felt the weight of the arcane word. We took out on the air. Rigel could felt. On the other side of the door, the thief tensed. Rigel could feel the weight of the arcane word on the air. He feared sorcery would reveal him. I like that he's a fucking complete lightweight here. He tried to take a toke, sputtered, and began to cough. Okay, cool. Yeah, I can almost see this happening. It was only a cantrip. El Shalah. — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — El Shalah lit the pipe for Revel with her finger. Okay, cool. Felt a stab of fear. No, I don't. I don't want a stab of fear because he's gonna get stabbed. Trust me. Like it does not need to get stabbed by fear. Have you? I think you were here for the first edit. You know that he gets stabbed. With her finger, El Shalah lit the pipe. Revel toked, sputtered, and began to cough. Silverlight danced in El Shalah's eyes as she laughed at him. El Shah laughed. Oh no. So cackled is not quite what I want, but I want mocking laughter. Let's see. I think snickered at him is better. Yeah. Okay, cool. Peeled light as a bell. Oh my god. Oh my god. Get a shovel. See, it's not easy to like have something that is not completely overblown, right? Like you have all this temptation. It's like, oh, there are so many good words. Let me put them all in there. You know, it's just you put it in every color and you get brown shit every time. Silver light danced in El Shalah's eyes as she snickered at him. Her laugh rose above her normal register, light as a bell. Okay, cool. Um, I know, right? It's like, and keep in mind, like, I have done the exact same shit in this story a billion times. We are gonna crowbar out so much horse shit from this story, even like a 200 pages. It's just gonna be complete fucking garbage that I have thought that I could get away with and that I can't. Let's just scroll ye no further than like the chapter before where we have like farting and zenith and all this. You know, you can do it, but you shouldn't. Um, all right. On the other side of the door, the thief tensed. Rigel could feel the weight of the arcane word on the air. He feared sorcery would reveal him. On the other side of the door, the thief tensed, afraid sorcery would reveal him. It's too much. Okay, cool. That's a little better. Scroll ye no further. All right, what do we got? There we go. Rigel felt the weight of the arcane word on the air and feared sorcery would reveal him. Luckily, it was only a cantrip. With her finger, El Shalah lit the pipe. Revel toked, sputtered, and began to cough. Silver light danced in El Shalah's. Silver flame danced in El Shalah's eyes as she snickered at him. Her laugh rose above her normal register, light as a bell. Flustered, Revel tried again. This time he inhaled deeply, held the smoke, and passed back the pipe. El Shalah took an adept drag, and they faced off, lips sealed, and tried... Oh, this is kind of cool. Flustered, Revel tried again. He inhaled deeply, held the smoke, and passed the pipe. El Shalah took an adept drag. I like adept drag, but it's a adept drag. El Shalah took an adept drag. Yeah, adept is hard to do. It's hard to say before drag. The pair faced off, lips sealed, and tried to hold out. Adept drag brings RuPaul to mind. I don't think that RuPaul was ever particularly adept at drag, right? Nobody was being fucking fooled. Although, it really questions to mind. No. Now I'm like considering like what the whole goal of drag is, because it's not to look like a woman. It's to look like a man pretending to be a woman. So in that case, they probably are like fairly. It's to draw attention and social stature to oneself and potentially to profit by masquerading as a woman. And in that case, they are adept, right? If like that's the goal, yeah. It's as a caricature, it's adept. As someone like that, I want to like get inside of, not a tremendous success, but yeah. Like I just had to like stop and consider what they're trying to like. I've seen like a bunch of female drag too. It's a subculture that I have more exposure to than you might initially suspect. But drag is an art form, apparently. I know for a fact too. Like it's a particular theatrical style that transcends almost every culture. The Greeks, the Indonesians, the Japs. Can you say Japs anymore? Well, whatever. The Japanese, the Nipponese, all over the place. Almost every culture has the inherent joke of like a dude in a dress or whatever the culturally relevant equivalent is. So it's just a part of us. So yeah, I recant on saying that they are not an adept drag because they have been more commercially successful with this gimmick than maybe anybody else of all. Wait, let's think of like who has been the most commercially successful of all time of taking this tired old routine and making some money off of it. Probably that person. So burlesque is the sexualized theatrical female costumes. Let me see. Drag shows are not sexual. There's a sexual context to it, 100%. Yeah, it works on a weird mechanism too. How did we get from there to here? Oh, just by the word adept drag. God, this really is almost a billionaire now. Yeah. Oh, yeah, but maybe I should have just like thrown on a fucking dress and tried to make a go of it. I really would have had like a little bit more success at some events, um, had I gone that route. But honestly, I don't fucking like makeup. I don't like having this shit on my face. And I don't have the tits for it. So, there's a lot of land that's being worked by the oil industry. Um, International franchising of drag race. Good lord. All right, let's get back to the story, or try to. How can you put all those thoughts of enchanting drag queens out of your mind so easily? Let's get Jigsaw in here. All right, what do we got? Flustered, Rebel tried again. He inhaled deeply, held the smoke, and passed the pipe. El Shalah took an adept drag. The pair faced off, lips sealed. Each tried to hold out the longest. Finally, they exhaled in near unison. Like entwined snakes, the two plumes joined in a single spiral. I like that. Like I like the this is something they did a bunch with like the animated Hobbit or whatever, where Gandalf is like puffing on his pipe, and like all the smoke is doing crazy shit and so forth. I like that convention. The eye at the keyhole blinked in surprise. The Archmage's daughter and the Duke's son were really smoking herb in a garret, like the common scum of Tinkerton. Okay. So he's surprised, so we need an exclamation point there. Animated snakes twirling around each other out of the sig smoke from natural born killers. I haven't seen that movie in like maybe 25 years, maybe like close to 25 or whatever. I don't think I paid close attention when I was on weed when we were watching it, so I don't remember the snake scene, but I believe you that it's there. The eye at the keyhole blinked in surprise. The Archmage's daughter and the Duke's son smoked herb in a garret, like the common scum of Tinkerton. Uh, okay, so I think we need it needs to be. God, why can't I remember what the ing form is? It's like a gerund or something. Somewhere around here, there's a book on what all this shit is. It's like every time we do this shit, Bradius has to come in here and explain that this is like pluperfect or something like that. It's not pluperfect. It's why can't I remember? Okay. All right, there we go. The eye at the keyhole blinked in surprise. The Archmage's daughter and the Duke's son. So Duke should be capitalized. And let's see. I know we had another Duke's son a little bit earlier. Let's just make sure that we capitalize it there too. All right, all right. Yeah, I remember Woody Harrelson being good in it. I forget who the woman in it was. It was like Oliver Stone, and back when he was doing he did that, and then he did JFK, and then Some Vietnam thing. Let me see. Oh, I know I used Duke's Son somewhere. Oh, well, we'll have to. Blah, 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 blah. In 1.3, there is a Duke that's lowercase, right? There we go. I just found it. Bam. Big D. Juliette Lewis. I forget what she looks like. But. Let's see. There really are not enough. There are not enough words for smell in English. Like we really need some people. Like there are other languages have more nuanced words for smell. Like we have smell, scent, aroma, stink. Like most of our words for smell are pejorative, right? We really need like some canine human hybrids to get in there, and then our language will change. But I wonder if we'll the amount of words that we have in English will actually diminish from all the people who like lost their sense of smell forever from the Caboner virus. All right, we'll find out. Another lucky. Oh, this needs to be in italics. Oh. We almost seem to say the scent of bitter cinnamon seep from beneath the door. Seep beneath the door. There we go. Can you not use something like I like describing smells as effluent? Yeah, like shit. That's not what I'm trying to say here. I'm trying to get the reader's mind off of shit. Can you not use something from another language? Every time you use a cognate from another language that somebody doesn't know, they have to like hold their thumb on the word and then wait for it to like pop up, and they're like, "Oh, why didn't you just say stink?" You know, has to be a strong reason. I did do a bunch of short stories where that's all I did basically. Like I would just grab bagged words from other languages and words that has the echo of it. You're talking about a cognate, but yeah, like I said, that's. You get into a situation where you have to have a glossary in your story, and like people do not like glossaries. Says the person who wrote like the last two books I published both had lengthy conlang glossaries and space tards and zeros for people keeping track. Another lucky break. Rigel only had to wait. Another lucky break. Now Rigel only had to wait for the herb to take hold. He skulked on the moonlit stair and clutched the ratty hem of his shirt. Okay, cool. I do like glossaries too, but like I've done that for like the last two books, and like the books I'm writing in the next 2 to 3 years, all gonna be simple language. I'm done with this flower. This is the last one that we're doing. This flowery. The next books I just want to put out like some detective stories or something where it's just like the language is concrete and easy. Now Rigel only had to wait for the herb to take hold. Rigel only had to wait for the herb to take hold. He skulked on the moonlit stair and clutched the ratty hem of his shirt. All his clothes were scrounged hand-me-downs, far too large for his lanky frame. We don't need far. He worried his shirt might whip in the wind and give him away, but there was no need. Giggles rang inside the garret. The smoke was strong. I like this. Okay. He worried his shirt might whip in the wind and give him away, but there was no need. Giggles rang inside the garret. Do giggles really ring? Yeah, like... So we want sounded. Please do not give me the... Yeah. Well, I'm glad that the, rang... Not range. What do we want? We want giggles echoed. Let's see. No, they're not rattling. They're not rebound. They'll have to ring for now. They're not. They wouldn't echo. So it's like a room full of smoke, and you hear two people. It's like they're bubbling, but not something more auditory than bubbling. We know, like giggles bubbling is too much. Sounded is too clinical. There we go. Giggles erupted inside the garret. The smoke was potent. Even the faint whiff. Rigel shook his head and pulled back to appraise the door. The rails were thick slabs of oak. Okay, Rigel shook his head and pulled back to appraise the door. The rails were thick slabs of oak. It would be heavy and hard to open. Panels of carved black walnut depict... Oh. Yeah, we... So this whole thing, panels of carved black walnut depicted scenes of fantastic battle, dragons wheeled against griffin, chimerae vied with gorgons. So this is a lot. What do you? Is there like a word for a carved door? Mm-hmm. Let's take a look at some of these doors. Oh yeah, this is what we're getting at. Epigraphic panels, centograph, cenotaph. What is a cenotaph? A monument dedicated to someone buried elsewhere. Huh, interesting. Let's see. I did not know that. Pair of carved doors. Okay. It was a thick slab of carved black walnut. Mm-hmm. I think he would kind of have kind of like an unreasonable fear here. Another fear was the door frame. Okay. So we're trying to salvage this little because I like the description of what's going on here. We don't have a lot of strong description of where he's at to like place this scene in the reader's mind. Like in my mind, it's very clear, but Rigel shook his head and pulled back to appraise the chamber door. It was a thick slab of black walnut. Scenes of Okay, so we'll make it a six-panel door. Dragons wheeled against griffins, chimerae vied with gorgons, and hydras fought. It was a thick slab of black walnut with scenes of fantastic battle carved into ornate panels. Dragons wheeled against griffins, chimerae vied with gorgons, and hydras fought manticores. Rigel worried they might come to life and bite him. So fancied, in English, fancied is a term that we would only use for somebody who was like about to eat a donut or about to suck a dick. There is an implied, oh, I shouldn't, but I will, type thing. Like, yeah, like we would not use it in the context of somebody was afraid that something would happen in American English. I know in Kiwi English, like up is down and left is right, and like you might fancy a sheep, for instance, but it doesn't work in American English, or it might work in UK English. I don't know. But also we have fantastic, and then we would have fancy, and they would be on top of each other. So I do want something better for worried there. Oh, actually, okay. So I like the use of concern here, because he doesn't actually know. You know, he's in a wizard's tower. He has no clue what's actually going to happen here. And I think Rigel is either 14 or 15 in the story. I'm trying to move him towards 15 so it's less creepy. And El Shala, like she's 17 here, and it is just, yeah, yeah. Well, like I hear, I understand like what you want to do there, but it's just fancy. Really does have this undercurrent of what would I call it? An undercurrent of excess in an imaginativeness that is not appropriate in the context that we're trying to use here. Unbeknownst to us. All right, what do we got there? Dragons wheeled against griffins, and it may be too much to try and include like this, because we stopped the pace dead here with our description of this fancy door. Rigel shook his head and pulled back to appraise the chambered door. It was a thick slab of black walnut with scenes of fantastic battle. It was a thick slab of black walnut carved with scenes of fantastic battle. Dragons wheeled against griffins, chimerae vied with gorgons, and hydras fought manticores. Rigel worried they might come to life and bite him. Rigel worried they might come to life and bite. Another concern was the door frame. A band of sigils were inlaid in ebony, fringed with hair-thin silver. Though Rigel could not read, he knew these magic marks could spell terrible trouble. He fingered the snake-led chain at his neck. Okay. He fingered the leaden chain around his neck and prayed it would preserve him. Uh, Triangle pick, rake pick, hook pick, wafer pick, round pick, skeleton key. Dimple rake. After wafer rakes. What? I think we call it a shim. So shims are more for padlocks, but what we're talking about is like the way that you would like credit card a door. Um, Turning tool, a pry bar, heavy bar. Yeah, shimmy, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, yam, shimmy, yam. The wind howled around Rigel, and cold drops struck his face. The storm was nearly there. He slipped a shim into the jam and found they hadn't bothered to lock the door. More good fortune. It meant they weren't They weren't afraid of. It meant the lovers weren't afraid of Arath coming back. He slipped a shim into the jam and found they hadn't bothered to lock the door. More luck. The lovers weren't afraid of Arath coming back. If the Archmage returned, Rigel's end would be slow and unspeakable. Better to leap off the tower and find a clean death. Better to leap off the tower and crash headfirst onto the cobblestones below. Better to leap off the tower headfirst into the cobblestones below. Rigel swallowed at the thought and set his palm against the door. There was no give. He'd have to hit it with all his weight. He'd have to shove with all his weight. Voices rose inside the garret. Careful not to make a sound, Rigel pressed his ear against the escutcheon. Oh, no, you can't use escutcheon. Escutcheon. Escutcheon.
Escutcheon.
Okay. So an escutcheon is a protective flange around a keyhole. Maybe we can use escutcheon. I don't know. It's a lot. There's a lot to put on my reader. Yeah, we did it on another stream. We're gonna have it, but it's a lot. Yeah, we'll leave it, and then we'll see if somebody cuts it out, right? Because it is the exact word for this. I think we had this exact same. Voices rose inside the garret. Rigel pressed his ear against the escutcheon and strained to hear. It sounded like an argument. Revel's voice was a low mumble, L's pointed and piercing. Rigel had to alternate between listening and peeking. At any moment, one might storm out and discover him. What good are you to me, then? El Shalah demanded. Rigel could scarcely believe. Rigel could not. Rigel couldn't believe the way she spoke. This was the Duke's son, one of the most powerful men in Laz. El Shalah scolded him like a dog, and he stood. El Shalah scolded Revel like a dog. He stood mute and absorbed the abuse. Rigel expected Revel to belt her, but he only hung his head. Oh, Bradius was like, readers will know this? No. I couldn't even fucking pronounce it. Escutcheon. Escutcheon. Sounds like a rap word. Remember, he's dangerous. Though he seems spineless as a sponge, the Duke's son would surely have a blade close at hand. Wow, what a sentence. I agreed with him? No. That doesn't sound like something I do. And then, like, I'm sure the clip is just like, oh, yeah, people gonna know what this is. No, well, I mean, this is why we're on the rewrite, to just plow through all my own bullshit. All right. Though he seems spineless as a sponge, the Duke's son would surely have a blade close at hand. Rigel had nothing but his picks and his wits. He'd have to be very, very quick. Oh, honestly, like, so that is the kind of, like, pseudo-rhyming cadence that we would like to have in the story. Where I think you can get away with it, where there is some, like, internal rhyme, but it's not aggressive or hopefully annoying to the reader. Maybe it is, I don't know. You're just a boy. You're just a boy, El Shalah said. Rigel locked up, afraid she meant him. A useless little boy when I need a man. A little boy. Useless. I need a man, she meant Revel. He whimpered. Useless. I need a man. She meant Revel. He whimpered some reply as she related. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let me see. And then we're doing the, what are we fucking doing there? And then we changed it up so that Fish is referring to blinding him, and as you know, like later on. Yeah. We want something like jeered. I wish there was like a decent thesaurus in fucking Pages. There really just is not. Or like a plugin. Sneered is not. So jibe. She is hectoring him. But taunted is not right. Jabbed is. Rigel locked up, afraid she meant him. Worthless. I need a man. She meant Revel. He whimpered some reply as she berated him. Jabbed is wrong. Yeah, jabbed is not wrong. Worthless. Ridicule is closer to what we want. Jeered. Oh, yeah. No, so scorn is... oh, yeah, chided. You're just a boy, El Shalah chided. Rigel locked up, afraid she met him. I like. So this scene didn't used to be this way at all. It's really cool to have their like weird sexual banter, kind of van-braced again. Why would I use van-braced there? Their weird sexual banter juxtaposed with a guy's outside the door listening in as a voyeur, being like, "What the fuck?" So it takes a scene that is like very penthouse forum and turns it into something where I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. Rigel squinted through the keyhole. We've done enough keyhole that we can dispense with through the keyhole because like the reader knows how it's happening at this point. Rigel squinted in. The pair moved closer to the bed. At last, Rigel saw his goal. Oh, he already saw it earlier. Rigel squinted in. The pair moved closer to the bed, and Rigel's eyes. Cool, better. Rigel squinted in. The pair moved closer to the bed. Past them was the goal. The cerulean orb swirled across. The cerulean orb swirled atop a slender silver pedestal. What a mouthful! Yeah, Neptune's a good one. I like that. Rigel squinted in. The pair moved closer to the bed. Past them was the goal. This should be two separate sentences, right? Like these two clauses have nothing to do with it. Past them was the goal. Beside the hearth was a slender silver pedestal. Atop it, the orb swirled with cerulean light. A little boy shouldn't stand so tall. On your knees. Revel obeyed her. Revel sank to his knees. El Shala sat on the edge of the bed and hiked up her emerald dress. Beneath was a neat triangle of wispy blonde hair. Rigel's mouth fell open. El Shala. El Shala wasted no time. She grabbed Rigel, oh lord. See, even I mess up Rigel and Revel in the heat of the forcible cunnilingus. Rigel's mouth fell open in shock. El Shala wasted no time. She grabbed Revel by his hair and rudely yanked his face between her legs. Revel offered no resistance and set to work at once. This is too many words. Let's see. She wasted no time. She grabbed Revel by his hair and rudely yanked his face between her legs. Revel offered no resistance. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, we can't have with relish because it really sounds like a hot dog. The act went on for what felt like forever. The voices in the bedchamber swelled with increasing abandon. It is more like grunting, but grunting. El Shala began to moan. Revel's breath grew ragged and frantic. Don't forget what you're here for, idiot. Uh-huh. Her accidentally... Oh, yeah, I'm on it. Well, you can tell what I was thinking about when I was writing this. The act went on for what felt like forever. Their voices swelled with increasing abandon. The act went on for what felt like forever. Their voices swelled with increasing abandon. El Shala began to moan, and Revel's muffled breath grew ragged and frantic. Let's see. Okay. El Shala began to moan, and Revel's muffled breaths grew urgent. I like that he's muffled. Don't forget what you're here for, idiot. Rigel slipped his hand over the brass doorknob. It turned without sound. His stomach churned with anxiety. Oh, yeah. This is not a time to... Mm-hmm. Oh, so we have like the turned and then churned, and like that's That's an example of internal rhyme that we don't want. It's hokey. You had to be fast. El Shala screamed as she arrived. Her shameless wail cut right through the door. Now! Rigel threw all his weight into the door. Boom. Let's see. What in the world? Theater as a minor? Well, I can't parse that sentence at all. I don't know this character that you're speaking of either. Highly educated. No, I'm literally did not graduate from high school. I have no education whatsoever. This is all, trust me, this is all made up. All right, what do we got here? Okay. Rigel hit the door with all his weight. Theater as a minor in college, so you have the talent to play the deep long Kong, Dark Lord of a major publishing house. Oh my god, yeah. No, I'm exactly what I appear, sadly. Let me see. Oh, this is too much description. Mm-hmm. Let's see. All right. Well, like, I mean, your fantasy there is more elaborate than the novel we're working on. You should you should write it up. All right, what do we got there? Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah, it's because I didn't get any sleep. That's why. Let's see. Rigel hit the door with all his weight. He burst in and sprinted. Yeah, there we go. We don't need the all his weight part. Rigel burst in and sprinted across the garret. The orb was clutched between three silver talons, no bigger than a plum. A soap bubble sheen rippled around the pedestal. The orb was clutched between three silver talons, no bigger than a plum. As the confused lovers cried out, Rigel grabbed the orb. The orb was clutched between three silver talons, no bigger than a plum. As the confused lovers cried out, Nah, I never sleep well. Um, no bigger than a plum. Before the lovers could react, Rigel grabbed the orb. The moment his fingers broke the rainbow shell, the spear flared, branding. Let me see. Yeah, it's like a ward on. Oh yeah, the no bigger than is too much. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. A soap bubble sheen of repulsion rippled around the pedestal. The orb was clutched between three. Okay, cool. Oh shit! What's going on, Brongulus? I think we already edited this one, but then it was trash, so I rewrote it yet again. I think it's like the fourth rewrite for this particular book. But yeah, this is chapter 2. I don't know if you worked on RAPAXORIS. I mean, I could check my notes and find out. But yeah, we're up to like chapter 2. We're gonna try to finish this rewrite by like around September 1st. And then it's going to an editor, and I'm gonna serialize it and try to put it on Royal Road, where all the tweens are at, and see if I can convince them that they should give me money. We'll see. Yeah, but welcome back. Yeah, we were talking about you earlier over the word escutcheon. Escutcheon, whatever. But yeah, this is the infamous getting some head, stealing an orb scene. Rigel burst in and sprinted across the garret. Now, he could see a soap bubble sheen of revulsion. Should I do repulsion or revulsion? Oh, yeah. See, my memory is ironclad. 2 years ago, I tried to help an edit stream for this, and was it really like 2 years ago? Fuck. It was a hard one to write. Yeah, it really is like epic fantasy is a pain in the ass, man. I think who was it? Like some of the really like I think it took them like 10 years to write Gardens of the Moon or whatever. Erickson and his boyfriend. I don't know that they're actually lovers. I think they're just homies. So let me not slander these people. Um, I just think it's funny, like the idea of two dudes playing D&D with each other, and there's nobody else there. Like, you got to be good friends, maybe more than friends, to do that. I'm just saying. Uh, I'm gonna get a lawsuit on that motherfucker. No, I don't have any secret knowledge of a tryst between them. I'm just speculating. Anyhow, fuck. A soap bubble sheen of repulsion rippled around the pedestal. Behind the rainbow veil, the orb was clutched between three silver talons. Rigel grabbed it. Role-playing an elf banging a halfling? No. Rigel was engulfed in a roar of furious blue. Let me see. Yeah, I do like Furious Blue. We kept that one intentionally. Oh, let's take a look. Okay, there we go. Let's take a look. Yeah. Rigel was engulfed in a roar of furious blue. A pillar of arcane flame set the carpet ablaze, and the pillar of arcane flame set the carpet ablaze and singed the rafters. Okay, cool. The pillar of arcane flame exploded upward and blasted the rafters. Okay, cool. Rigel was engulfed in a roar of furious blue. The pillar of arcane flame exploded upward and blasted the rafters. Rigel should have been incinerated. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Sensitive sign. Yeah, just like I'm either I have a cold or I'm fucking or it's just allergies. But one way or the other, I'm fucking dying here. Still got to do a show. Still got to edit. No rest for the wicked. All right. He should have been incinerated, but the flame never touched him. Instead, his amulet grew red hot. The leaden chain sizzled against his neck as it siphoned the spell and then melted. Rigel shrieked. All right, cool. LED. Did I fix that already? Yeah, I think I fixed that. Molten beads of lead seared his skin as they. Ooh. Uh. Yeah, yeah. No, people like carpets. Actually, should it be a smoldering rug? Yeah, it'd be like a. Oh yeah, actually, what if the. Ah, I keep doing lead. Quest Phoebe. Yes, it has been a while. Yeah, we've been about 3 months working on this rewrite, and now we're ready to hear it. We can't. I am aware of just how bad a smoldering rug. So a bunch of things would smell fucking awful here. Like one, his hair would be melting. Two, his skin. Like skin makes like a terrible fucking smell as it's burned by lead. And then the rug would be really bad. So it's like he's getting pounded by a bunch of things at once, but he's also in incredible because like just imagine you got like a Dookie roll chain made of lead and it's like melting down your chest and you're like ah! This is it's not a fun day for Rigel anymore. It's about to get worse. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, just extra information to like yeah, running and puking bad. Like all these things are like so bad, but you can't describe each of the smells that's hitting him right there. Um, Okay. Rigel shrieked. Molten beads. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. The rug underfoot was on fire, and he choked on. So he would be doing also like this, like hot-footed dance as he's getting there. Uh, what is it like? Okay, yeah. So this is another thing where here's a spot where we could spend all day like trying to explain this, but like honestly, like simpler terms, let the reader figure out that his legs are windmilling like fucking Tom and Jerry as he's scrambling for the door. Yeah, because we just can't get into all that description right there. This is meant to be fast. Mm-hmm. Okay, give me 1 sec. I need to uh, go blow up the World Trade Center. I'll be right back. All right. Yeah. Oh, I'll keep that in mind. At last, our city is freed from that wretched eyesore. I have destroyed the WTC once again. All right, what do we got here? Mm-hmm. Revel was up on his feet, headed for the sword belt. Wait, would Revel be bare ass naked as this is going on? No, they never got to like the actual fucking. Um, he just so he's still fully clothed. Okay, cool. Revel was up on his feet. His sword belt hung from the back of a chair. He grabbed a dagger, wheeled on Rigel, and drew it back to throw. He could not miss at this distance. He couldn't miss at this distance. Their eyes met in shared terror. Revel hesitated. Revel hesitated. Revel hesitated. Rigel bolted for the door. Thunder crashed above as his fingers closed on the knob. "Stop him!" El Shalah shouted. Revel threw the dagger. Oh shit, 10% off Meinl. Thank you, Sweetwater. That's exactly what I needed to focus on at this moment. Revel threw the dagger. They make those Meinl makes a lot of different shit. Drum boxes, you mean like cajones? What else they got there? Yeah, I have like one of their, I'm trying to think of all the crazy shit that I have from Meinl. I think I have their bongos. And then I have a hi-hat topper. It's like a little tambourine. And I think my tambourine is also a Meinl. Yeah, they make a lot of neat world percussion type stuff. I've got one of those like plastic wood blocks or whatever. It's loud as fuck. And then I have, oh, hold up. There we go. Yeah, here's one of their cymbals right here. Let's see. These are some of my favorite hi-hats. They still reverberating. Sounds gooder than hell. I'm very sorry for clanging that against the microphone. I'm not supposed to do that, but fuck it. Yeah, I recently got in a Craigslist trade a set of zillion. Oh yeah, there's fucking. I have other cymbals that reverberate even better. But those are hi hats and they're like very very dry. And then I got a set of. Hold on, let's see here. Neighbors are gonna love this. Be right back. Yeah, if you were ever like, oh, let's let this cat like live in our building or whatever. Here, well, let me see. Oh, they're too shiny to get picked up. There we go. So these are some Zildjian master sounds that I just recently I bought them and they were completely fucked up. So I had to spend a couple of hours like polishing them and cleaning them up and stuff. But now, well, they don't sound great there. But hold up. All right, this is terrible. This is not the correct miking thing. Hold up, let me see if I can get this. I'm so sorry to my neighbors, but it's a hell of a chick. So the thing about those cymbals that's cool is that the underneath is kind of partially crenellated, so that when the cymbal snaps down, air can easily rush out and it makes like a loud chick sound. If you take those guys, the Meinls, they don't have like a very loud chick when you're working the hi-hat pedal, which is all right. I just like drums. They're all around me at all times. Anyway, how do we get on this? I'm supposed to finish this fucking chapter, not get evicted for playing my cymbals at 8 a.m. Oh yeah, this. So you can do. Yeah, you can set like a little bit of slosh onto the thing. There's also like a cymbal topper. Hold on, I can. Let's see. All right. I really should wear pants at some point, so that I just don't have my dick hanging out in the middle of. Okay, so you can get this guy right here. It just slides on top of the hat. And then you tighten down this little thing, and then when you're hitting it, I'm not hearing shit there, but you can adjust this so that. Oh, it's because the hi-hat jingle or whatever is. Anyhow. Shit, I can get rid of the writing stream and just have the drumming stream. It's like I'm gonna suck for like at least another year, sadly. I'm not practicing hard enough. Let's see. How many more pages? All right. So we just got to get through a few more of these paragraphs. Their eyes met in shared terror. Rebel hesitated. Rigel bolted for the door. Thunder crashed above as his. Oh yeah, they actually sound like pretty cool. This one, they're not very loud. And like to get them to work right, you need to move your hats like a little further apart than these two are, so that there's more travel distance. But you really do get like a pretty good sound. They work actually really well with the those Byzances. Anyhow, I'm like a sucker for any kind of percussion. I like anything that I can wang on and make sound. I like hang drums and cajones and kalimbas and all kinds of whatever. My house is just full of instruments. Yeah, he did it with just the hi-hat. So what you can do there is you can adjust the hat so that they're like barely touching, and you can do like some EQ on the back end. The vibra slap. I've got a vibra slap floating around here somewhere. Wait, hold on. Can I reach it with my foot? Anyhow, like I need to finish this fucking chapter. Percussion. Oh my god, yeah, I can barely do 4/4 at the moment, man. Like you can get into like all the 17 whatever. I can't fucking. I don't understand it. Like I bang the drums. No, yeah, utterly distracted. As his fingers closed on the knob, thunder crashed above. Stop him! El Shalah shouted. Rebel threw the dagger. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Rigel flung open the door. Da, 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 da. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay, cool. Yeah, and so this should be like a very hurried. I just want to bang on this thing all day long. Oh yeah, it's irresistible. Who could stop? All right. What was I doing with these down here? By the way, yeah, all the other drums are upstairs. Though the stairs were slick and a slip was death, he bounded down, 5 at a time. The cold feeling in his arm built into a screaming pain. The dagger was still stuck in his shoulder. Yeah, he wouldn't use lodge here because it's supposed to be so fast, right? A cold feeling throbbed in his side. The dagger was stuck in his shoulder. All right, let's try this. Revel threw the dagger. It slammed into Rigel's shoulder as he flung open the door. Rigel didn't stop. He bolted outside. He bolted through the gap and into the rain. He bolted outside into the rain. Though the stairs were slick and a slip, though the stairs were slick, Shot the gap. Let's see. Yeah. Well, bolts through a yeah. We don't have that in American English. The stairs were slick. A slip was death. Rigel bounded down 5 at a time. A cold feeling throbbed in his side. The dagger was stuck in his shoulder. Okay. Rigel threw open the door with his good arm and dashed down the dark hall. The window he'd snuck in was on this level, but he could not remember where. With a lurch, he realized. Okay, cool. He. Yeah, you just try to break those up. So I will tell you that while you're reading, you never notice the repetition of he. Pronoun repetition is something that is very noticeable during editing, during actually like reading the story. You don't know. So it's something that we always try to change up in editing because it's like a little nicer if we don't have so much repetition. But it's much more apparent to somebody critically reading during editing. And oh no, we don't ever want to call him the boy. I think we do it once or twice throughout the story. Yeah, but it is something that as we edit, we do look for instances. I've read that I statements are usually a sign of a lack of confidence. When somebody says I a lot as they're talking, they're usually less confident in the situation. but that might just be like fucking Tumblr philosophy or whatever. I don't know that it's actually true, but in my experience, yeah, if somebody's like, well, I, then usually they're like, oh man, these people don't think I'm cool. I better say a bunch of shit that they won't like to make them like me. You know, like I've done that. That's one of those things where when you're like dating women, you like try not to make almost any I statements and just let them make all of them. And then like, oh, he's so fascinating. You know, he had so much to say, and it's just the person talking back about themselves. I think old Carnegie has that in what's the book? Fucking How to Make Friends and Influence People. They say that same shit. Okay. Rigel threw open the door with his good arm and dashed down the dark hall. With a lurch, he realized he couldn't escape that way. He needed both arms to repel. Interested is interesting. Oh yeah, CV stuff. Yeah, it's hard, man. You know, it's hard to make anybody give a shit about you in this life. Is what I've found, at least. Um, oh, so we need to. There's some hand confusion here. Um, let's see. I almost want him to like stick something in the door to like prop it open. Okay, cool. Yeah, what if he yanks out the dagger and uses it? covered in later chapters. Like it just stays stuck in his arm. And also, just FYI, like say that he like yanked, like one is very traumatic to yank a dagger out of yourself, as we'll get into a little bit later. Two, Rigel would lose. Like Rebel would just, like, even with a knife or whatever there, he would just yanks out the dagger and uses it to jam in the door. I want you to think if you would think to do that while, like, you're running off with an orb, you just got blasted in a pillar of fire, you're choking on rug smoke, you just watch a woman have an orgasm 10 times more powerful than any you'll ever have in your life. You're clutching a stolen orb, it's raining outside, your clothes are too baggy, and if you are like, oh, what if I just pulled this dagger out of my arm and wedged the door open with it? How? I mean, it is a thought, but I don't know that I can. I don't. And also later in the book, the dagger is still stuck in his arm. He like staggers across half the city with it stuck in there. Oh yeah, he's not. No, he's just a boy. Yeah, he's just a boy. He's actually like he was enslaved and forced to become a thief. He didn't grow up in these mean streets. He's a farm boy. Just a small town boy, taking the orb to the RAPAXORIS. Oh, God. Okay, so now he's doing like this awkward thing, so it makes more sense that, okay, cool, I like that. When you get lost between an orb and New York City, oh God. He took Fish's canoe going anywhere. Oh. Ugh. Okay. It's no. It's the size of a plum. I think we called it a plum size, or we took that out actually. So if you have that idea, a plum size, yeah, it's like a plum. Let's see. Fuck, this is a hard chapter. Yeah, there we go. If we just, yeah. Yeah, he could store it up his ass if he really had to. That's how big it is. Instead, he ran at random. Rigel bled through the tower of the Unraveler until he stumbled onto the grand entrance. He blundered into a table and knocked over a statue with a tremendous crash. Uh-huh. Rigel began unraveling and it... No, I don't think like yeah, let's just take out the fucking statue. Oh, okay. So ugh. Oh yeah, we're not using that sentence. What do you call the entrance? What would you call this? The foyer. He ran towards the foyer, blundered into a statue, and toppled it with a tremendous crash. Okay, cool. Heading off now. Great. Yeah, we're almost done. Thank you for tuning in and your assistance. We're almost there. You can tell where I'm like trying to finish this thing and get some breakfast, where I like shut up and stop reading. Um, okay, cool. That's not a bad end to this chapter. Um, let's see. Comma splice again. Footsteps. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's. Let's put a stop. Thief. All right, there we go. Adding a little bit of momentum. Rigel ran towards the foyer, blundered into a statue, and toppled it with a tremendous crash. He ran on, nearly free. Rain hissed outside the barred double doors. Rigel wrenched the crossbar up with his uninjured arm. Rigel wrenched the crossbar up with his good arm and let it drop with a bang. "Stop! Thief!" Revel shouted behind him in the dark. Rigel shoved the door, but it wouldn't budge. Heavy footsteps. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Mm-hmm. What keeps me coming back to the stream is 3/4 of the evidence. I start typing to propose. I'm already on it. Yeah, man, I've gotten better at this. I used to be way worse. Frantic. All right. Revel shouted from behind. Rigel shoved the door, but it wouldn't budge. Heavy footsteps rushed down the stairs. Rigel groped for the lock and bit down, ready to die. Then, he heard a heavy thump and a cry of pain. Revel tripped over the fallen statue. Frantic, Rigel found the bolt and threw it open. He shoved open the door, flew into the pouring rain, and let the night swallow him. Boom. Okay, cool. That needs another pass, but it is an editor. What will do it there? How many pages? So 14. Oh, wow. So we did 9 pages today. That was cool. All right, so who has contributed here? I'm going to give Milkness. So double the pages there. I think Kelly did something here. I'm going to give Milkness another 4. I'm going to give 2. Because I think I accepted 2 of your edits there. I'm just freeballing these or whatever there. So, all right. It was almost 9 o'clock. We started doing this at, what, like 5 a.m.? So how many hours have we been streaming here? I'll get the timer at some point. Wait, let me see what the first chat was. It would have been Jira. Oh, Lord. I'm scrolling back so far. Oh, my God. I started well before. Yeah, we started at like 5:15 a.m., so we've been doing this for almost 4 hours. I should be done with work. I'm like, fuck it. I should be able to go home here. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining into this whole deal. Yeah, like, we have another month to go. So if we keep at this clip, we will finish this month. Pretty early, I took a quick nap. I didn't get to take a nap. This is bullshit. All right, well, let me leave you with one last thing while we're here.